From out the great silence, O thou luminous brother, we welcome thee and thy ministry unto America. As thou hast put forth thy opening wedge this day, so shall those under this radiation become aware of thy presence. O thou great light that illumines all earthly minds, making them aware of the one eternal presence. We give praise and thanks that there is but one intelligence governing everywhere. The duty of the student always, no matter what the appearance, is to accept only this fact. He becomes a radiant channel to pour out this truth like a gushing stream, pouring itself forth to the great ocean of life. We give praise and thanks that out of the silence has come another presence who will bless, lift, and enlighten humanity. By the power which I am, and the accumulated wisdom and energy of the centuries, I project forth into the minds of humanity this day that intelligent activity which will guide them aright. By the I Am, the universal I Am, the Great One, I command this power to act in all mankind. I bring you greetings from the Great Host and the Great Master Himalaya. This is the first time that the presence of this luminous brother has been brought to the knowledge of the outer world. It is he from whom the Himalayan mountains receive their name. Ever since these have been raised into prominence, they have been a sacred, unchanging stream of life held unwaveringly. Those souls who came within their embrace were caught up and lifted into that luminous, radiant form. They have long sent forth their rays of activity to heal and bless mankind. As the destiny of India and America are entwined as two vines encircling the tree of life, so again this day has the radiant help come forth. This help aims to blend in harmony the minds of America so its progress proceed unhampered and uninterrupted. Today there are in America thousands who have been reborn from India, and there are being reborn in India thousands from America. Each brings its interblending balancing process required in both sections of the earth. This great being, after many centuries in the great silence, again stepped forth to exert that conscious blending process of spirit and manifestation, to hold forth the chalice, that its heart may be filled with the liquid fire of spirit pouring forth into the hearts of mankind, creating that fullness of desire within them for greater and greater light, looking to and depending upon the one great source of light. The entrance of this great presence into the activity of mankind will spread like a thread of light through all the activity of America. It will expand its luminous presence like a mantle of softly falling golden snow. It will be absorbed by the minds of humanity, the majority being entirely unaware, although some will sense the inner penetrating presence. If those under this radiation continue in their present harmonious, beautiful progress, it will be possible shortly to bring to their attention certain activities of the nerve fluid, which will hasten their mastery over the outer form. It means the mastery over all conditions that seem to bind or limit. I shall be surprised if your students do not feel the strength, if they do not feel the presence of this great being today. Even as I speak, his rays go out to them, touching the heart of each one, and I feel their thrill of joy. Watch carefully, each of you and your students, to be on guard to reverse all negative conditions that appear to the senses. On the lesser things for practice, if the senses report, you could reverse your consciousness and assert your warmth. If the senses report too much heat, reverse it with a sense of perfect, normal coolness. If the senses report to you ecstatic joy over certain enlightenment, say, "Peace, be still," and assert your calm poise and assurance. The ideal, in all sense reports, is to move in the middle way, the balance always asserting the calm mastery of control, which I am. This enables a steady, flowing stream of creative ideas and energy from the heart of the great central sun. Out of that radiance has come the great being called the Master Himalaya. This enables you to receive and use immensely more of the radiant energy he pours forth. I draw your conscious attention to him so you may receive without limit from his energy. This energy complements what you draw forth by your own conscious effort. Students must understand that masters do not come by the student's choice. They have been chosen to receive the radiance, a privilege beyond simple words. True meaning of this privilege can only be felt or visioned, not fully described. The master's role is not to solve students' problems for them. Instead, the master conveys intelligent understanding for students to apply in life. This teaches them to solve their own problems and gain strength, courage, and confidence. They continue to reach up step by step, gaining conscious mastery over the outer self and world. At certain points of growth, we hear students call out for help with great sincerity. For encouragement, know the radiating presence of the Master pours out strength, courage, confidence, and light. Often, students are unaware of this outpoured support in their outer consciousness. Wisdom's permanent help is to instruct in the simple laws, to wield the scepter and gain victory. To do tasks for the student would retard progress and weaken them immensely. Only by asserting conscious strength and winning victories does the student attain confidence. With masterful use of the consciousness of the I Am presence, the student moves forward with no uncertainty. We do not say more about our assistance to prevent students leaning on an outside source. To encourage dependence would be the greatest mistake we could make. The student need never fear. Every assistance possible is given according to their point of attainment, the I Am presence. The host of ascended masters and the ascended Jesus Christ are one and the same. Through recognizing and using the I Am presence, you can bring forth any quality you wish into manifestation. Keep reminding the outer consciousness that saying I am sets God in action and individualizes the universal life. This is the life, energy, and intelligence at the heart of the universe, governing all. Remind the outer consciousness of this fact and let your joyous enthusiasm increase continually. There should never be a pall over the joy of its use, for it is the road to full mastery. The student must be firmly aware they are the conscious controlling power in their life and world. They can fill their life with any quality needed or chosen. Students with intermittent physical disturbance should adopt the consciousness, I am the perfectly controlled breath of my body. Feel yourself breathing that rhythmic breath as often as possible to bring balance and help control thought. Sincere students should avoid listening to disturbing things that emit unwanted elements. When unavoidable, use. I am the presence on guard here and consume instantly everything that seeks to disturb. This protects you and helps the other person as well. Do not fear, but keep the conscious guard until sufficient mastery controls thought, feeling, and receptivity. From the Golden City comes a limitless charge of energy for the blessing of these students, of this radiation, as well as those of mankind who are looking to the light. Try to keep as much as possible in the joyous enthusiasm of the I Am presence. Give it all power, and do not hold any questioning in the mind. Throw everything to the winds and give everything to that glorious I Am presence and receive its magic revelation. It is the mighty miracle-working presence that can and does solve all things, not only problems, but questions whose answers need revealing. A remarkable statement that would be enormously helpful to the students would be to say, I am the miracle-working presence in everything I require to have done. For students to keep meditating and contemplating what it means to say I or I am brings results, revelations, and blessings that cannot be overestimated. I'm sure your students will soon begin to show and feel the remarkable activity of this use. Today I feel the presence of the understanding and use of this much more powerfully than at any time hitherto. On the higher planes, there is a constant meeting and exchange of help, while the bodies are asleep far beyond anything the outer self is conscious of. Knowing that I am the quality of whatever I wish to use, then you know you can produce in visible, tangible form whatever you have within the consciousness. The moment the questioning of the outer mind can be put under control and made to subside, the greatest revelations pour forth, almost tumbling over each other. Owing to the need, the Master Himalaya chose to come forth. He brings a special blending of America and India, and that is why it is possible for him to come here. As the inner presence comes into action, all outer activity subsides. It must necessarily because it obeys the I Am presence. The golden snow is what the great presence spreads over America to be absorbed by individuals and the very particles of the atmosphere itself. This will enable the students especially to be greatly assisted and blessed because they have become the focus for this outpouring. It may be well for the students to understand that in national requirements, as in individuals, there are qualities needed for certain definite purposes at certain times. That is the reason for special great beings coming forth, these individuals, having predominant the quality that the nation needs at a given moment. The students who can take this understanding with great sincerity will find a new element entering into their lives, which will benefit them greatly. The activity of expectation is quite a vital one in receiving from the inner presence. It is a faculty that can be used with a great deal of benefit by the student who cultivates it. For instance, if we have planned something from which we expect great joy, we feel all buoyed up with expectancy. We can acquire and use this same expectancy in elements we wish to acquire and use, for it is very helpful in enabling them to come forth. If one calls on the phone and you are to meet that one in the city, you expect to meet him. If you desire to meet the masters, one requirement is to expect to meet them. That is very helpful. Why not expect to meet them now? People have become so abnormal in their habits that naturally they have interfered with their breathing as well as other things. To use the statement I am, the balancing breath will do a great deal more for them than the use of many breath exercises without the aid of an ascended master. The coming amazing activity will be done by the use of the I Am presence, because with its use, anything can be accomplished. Take the consciousness often, I am the balancing breath. This sets in motion the inner activity that maintains the outer perfection. In whatever you do, always take the I Am consciousness, and then you immediately set it into motion. Take the attitude of calm certainty in your mind, and keep on keeping on. Thou mighty presence, whom we in great joy have welcomed, we thank thee for thy great wondrous radiance and light, thy great radiance and conquering power, and we trust that thou mayest decree justice now and for all time to mankind.